I lay a futon down in the living room and place Ilya on it. Even though she's unconscious, Ilya's face looks calm, and there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with her. That's not the real Archer! Don't look away, the bandage will slide off. We even need the bandage, that's gonna heal by morning.
人がせっかく手当てしてあげてるんだから、少しはおとなしくしてなさいっての。ほら、右手あげて。もう必要ないとは思うけど、一応こっちにも薬塗っとくから。
I mean, I guess.
触覚があるってことは平気な証拠よ。はい、次包帯ね。
It's time for bandage time with Nurse Tosaka. Skillfully wraps the bandage around my right shoulder. Okay, we didn't get roughed up that much. Just got stabbed in the back. After returning to the living room, Tosaka started to treat my wounds. Started, but the wounds have mostly already healed, so all that's left is to treat them just for show.
はい、おしまい。にしても、ほんとでたらめな体ね。それだけの治癒能力を持ってるのは。
You know, that's ironic considering their last. Not their. I don't think it was their last game. Maybe it was. Anyway, Tsukihime, which had all to do with vampires. Maybe we are. It's not outside of the realm of possibility in the Natsuverse. It's up in the air. I think she asked me something similar a while ago.
俺は真っ当な人間だよ。俺だってどうしてこんななのか知らないんだから。聞かれたってわかるもんか。
冗談。真っ当な人間が脊髄切られてピーシャンしてるかっていうのよ。
Spinal cord cut out. What the fuck?
あえて追求しなかったけど、いい加減不気味になってきたわ。もしかしてあんた、首を切られない限り死なない土地の出だったりしない？
Maybe, or maybe if you incapacitate them, then the body will grow a new head, and the head will grow a new body, and there will be two Shiro Emiyas. The worst part is, Tosaka is seriously considering that. She might come after my neck one day with an axe in hand.
ね、セイバーだってそう思うでしょ？原因はセイバーだとは思うんだけど、それにしたって不死身すぎるっていうか。
は、シロの治癒能力はシロのものではないのですか？
Yeah, we probably should have asked her about that at some point.
強化の一つ覚えのシロがそんな高等技術をマスターしてると思う？こいつのデタラメぶりは間違いなくあなたとつながってるからよ。
What about your last master? Did your last master have any sort of significant healing powers like this?
そうなのでしょうか。今までそのようなつながりは感じませんでしたが、それならば今も私の魔力はシロに流れていなければおかしいですし。
セイバー？どうしたの？いきなり青ざめた顔しちゃって。
What's up? You good?
まさかそんなはずは。
Shaking her head, Saber looks away. You mind not leaving us out of this sort of discussion that's kind of important? Only a little bit. Tosaka and I look at each other. Saber's acting strange. No, I know why. Saber's spirit has been low since the Golden Knight has appeared.
まあ、シロのことは保留にしておきましょう。それよりセイバー、あなた、さっきのやつと顔見知りだったの？あの金。
Hold on, can I get a repeat of that? No, I can't, unfortunate. Because that audio got really low for some reason. Saber doesn't answer. It's obvious something she doesn't want to talk about, but I still want to know. Tosaka's question is mine as well.
Saber, 知っているなら教えてくれ。さっきのあいつは何だったんだ?
But that wasn't the Archer we knew. But you know, there's a little bit of you know, you could get a little bit of context clues.
私は彼を知っています。ですがそれはありえない。サーバントは7人だけです。
Do you know what his wish was? I don't know.
サーバント？やっぱりあいつサーバントなのか?
No, that's obvious. But in that case, there's a big problem.
彼のクラスはアーチャーです。もちろん、リンが契約したアーチャーとは全く別の英霊で、その能力も英雄としての気質もあまりに違いますが。
Yeah. They're both sarcastic. Nah, I wouldn't even say that Golden Archer is sarcastic, but I know that too. It only lasted a short while, but I was able to feel how much of a monster he was.
ちょっと待って、おかしいわよそれ。あいつがあーちゃんのサーバントなら、それで8人目よ。
No. He said that he waited 10 years.
一つの期間で召喚できるサーバントは7人が限度のはずでしょ。数が減ったから補充するなんてことは絶対にない。そもそも7人以上の召喚は聖杯だって魔力が持たないわ。サーバントが7人っていうのはそれが一度に呼び出せる限度数だからでしょ。なら8人目はどうしたって呼び出すって待った。セイバー、あなた前回の戦い
Then
で
he's
あいつと
probably
出会った
still
の。
around from the previous war. I mean, that can be assumed at this point.
前回の聖杯戦争における最後の一日、火の海の中で私は彼と戦った。
My body tenses up for a moment. Or for an instant. They ever fought him in a sea of fire? 10 years ago? In a sea of fire in this town? I wonder if that means anything. It's nothing new. Kodamine already told me that the fire was caused by the Holy Grail War. Well, this shouldn't be a surprise. It's just, I was unconsciously trying not to think about it until now.
決着はあなた、あいつをきちんと倒したの？
倒してはいません。いいえ、倒すことはできなかった。
逆にあいつに任された。今回とは違う。きちんと召喚されて敵なしだったあなたが勝てなかった相手ね。
Was she more properly summoned in that case? Do we have, yes. Rank B, rank C, rank C, rank B, rank A, and rank EX. How does that compare? Same in strength. Beats out in, no. They have the same amount of endurance and agility. Same amount of magical energy. Beats, he beats her out in luck, and definitely beats out in Noble Phantasm. God damn, she only has C-rank Noble Phantasm? That's pretty weak. Like, for as strong as Excalibur's supposed to be, a C-rank Noble Phantasm is absurdly weak. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, everybody else has a better ranked Noble Phantasm. We got B, we got A+. I guess, no, hers is rank C. What about Assassin? Well, he didn't have a Noble Phantasm. He could just do his shit whenever because it was a technique. Berserker is rank A. Like, why does everyone have... Why do we have the worst Noble Phantasm? This shit sucks. Saber hangs her head and doesn't answer. That pretty much answers her question. Not just the imperfect Saber as she is now, but Saber with her full power? Is that even possible? If you look at her skill as a swordsman, Saber is certainly invincible. Admittedly, Saber was the weaker against Berserker, but Saber has that Noble Phantasm. The Noble Phantasms of other servants are powerful, but Saber succeeds even... Except it's rank C! I don't think there's any hero she couldn't beat by using her holy sword.
それじゃあ決まりよ。あいつ、今回の戦いで呼ばれたサーバントじゃなくて、前回からそのまま残ったサーバントなんじゃない？そうでなければ辻褄が合わないもの。
My mind stops. Not that I agree with Tosaka, but what she said matches what I've been hoping for since yesterday.
ですが、それは。
ですがも何もないわ。それ以外に説明がつかないんだから。
Yeah, that basically is the only
一度の聖
kind of
杯戦争で
exception.
呼び出せるのは
Like the only
一人
way
だ
that
け。
it's possible.
そ
A heavy silence. But why is she in such a good
どうした
mood?
か。何が嬉しいんだよ。
当然じゃない。だって前例がいてくれたのよ。あいつが何者か知らないけど、要するに前回の戦いで最後まで勝ち残ったサーバントなんでしょ。ならあいつは聖杯を手に入れたのよ。で、その恩恵でずっと世界に残ってる。
So why is that a good thing? Mind elaborating?
聖杯さえ手に入れれば
Giving in to your...
サーバン
Give
トを
us a
世界
little
に
bit
留め
of
てお
a
けるって
peek on
いう
your
見本じゃない。
infinite wisdom, O
あいつをと
Rin-sama.
捕まえて詳しい話を聞きたいぐらいよ。
I want to capture. You want to capture him? You want to fucking fuck around with that guy? Like, I don't know about that, fam. I don't know who he is, but he's a servant, and he's still here after the previous war. That means there's a way for Saber to stay in this world, like him.
Good
luck capturing him more than anything else. She's gonna fucking like, and like send a whole bunch of swords your way the instant you even try and touch him.
Saber, you
got any idea? Great. we don't know our enemy, and we know that he's beaten her once. That's a great combination.
シンボルとなる宝具が存在しない。そんなバカな話があるもんか。
He was tossing things that were basically noble phantasms.
そうよ、さっき山ほど使ってたじゃない。あれだけあれば正体を探るなんて造作もないでしょ。
では聞きますが、リンは先ほどの宝具に。
そんなの当然じゃない。
Tosaka ponders. Thinks about it for a minute, but then she tilts her head in confusion.
嘘。そんなはずない。
どうしたトサカ？
信じられない。あの血に濡れてたのは多分ダインスレフで、鎌っぽいのはハルペイよね。なんか中華っぽいやつもあったし、お不動産のあれもあったような。
A Buddha thing? What the fuck? Osaka looks crazy talking to herself. I guess this is what you can call digging yourself a hole.
あれなんかセーバーの剣に似てたけど別物のはずよ。ああいう素朴なデザインは北欧っぽかったし、そういえば大抵の魔剣の原型って北
So
欧だっ
they're
た
all
話
just
だ
a
け
whole
ど。
bunch of noble phantasms, but we can't really place them to one person. That's because there are a whole bunch of different ones.
トサカ。
Great. There's no point in leaving her like that. I have to stop her now or there'll be some damage. I don't need to add that. I'll be the one damaged.
トサカ、いいから戻ってこい。
Earth to Tosaka, come back to Earth.
ああもう黙っててよしろ。
I think that's the first time we've ever seen that
あんたがチャチャ入れるから
sprite.
頭が混乱してきたじゃない。
いや、チャチャを入れるつもりはない。あいつの宝具のことだろ。形状だけで言うなら、ダインスレフとハルペ、デュランダルに。
Durando, Vahra, Kelborg, and a Gaybolg. Great. So we have Durando. What was Durando? I don't remember. Point is, we have a whole bunch of different shit.
さすがにわからないけど、有名どころはそんなものじゃなかったか？
それ合ってる。
I'm hurt if she makes a face like that. I'm not knowledgeable, but it just popped into my head.
けど、それってどういうことよ。
What do you think it
そんな
means?
デタラメな数の宝具を持ってる
You
英雄
can
なん
use
てい
those
な
all
い
in
わ。
Castlevania.
いえ、
Like,
そもそも出典が
Two
ごちゃ
of
混ぜ
those
で
were like
もう
weapons in
何が
FE,
何
I'm
だか
pretty sure. At least two. If Durandal, at the very least.
ですから私も彼の正体はわからなかった。英雄の証となる宝具をあの男は湯水のように持っているのです。あまりにも数がありすぎるため。
The two ponder. Well, there's certainly no way to tell if he has that many. It's like hiding a tree in a forest or something. I think this guy's
あんたなんか
Alucard.
ないの？
You're right. He's blonde. He's That's kind of where the similarities end. Is Alucard even blonde? No, he has gray hair. What the fuck? I think you might be wrong on this, Rafa. Just a little bit. She glares at me. Yeah, she's definitely taking it out on me. Why are you
だから
being
気
so mean to
づい
us?
たこととか推理とか、とにかく瞬間的なひらめきよ。私たちに必要なものは意外性のある意見なの。行き詰まった事態を解決するのは偶然だけなんだから。
Might be right.
なるほど。お前、
What the fuck was that?
失礼ね。戦力外だと思ってるだけよ。
I just think you're
どうな
useless.
の？
お手上げ。
I give up, honestly. The stalker groans in regret.
となると結論は一つね。セイバー、あいつが使ってた宝具はみんな偽物だと思わない？
同意見です。ですが、
いや、 あれ偽物じゃないぞ。
How did they arrive at that answer? First of all, he wouldn't have been able to pierce Castor with fake noble phantasms.
ふーん。エミヤくん。
The fact that he killed Castor!
だからあれは本物だって。むしろ他のが偽物っぽい。
はい
や、あくまで直感なんだ。その、うまく説明できないんだけど、あれは全部本物だぞ。ランサーの持ってるゲイボルクはもちろん本物だけど、さっきのやつが使った槍もゲイボルクの本物だと思う。
There are two Gaybolgs. I mean, it's hard to explain if she makes a face like that. No, forgetting that, why did I think that? It's just that all the things he used were noble phantasms. I can feel that. Is it because I used projection against Berserker? I could tell they were real noble phantasms just by looking at them. Conception dwells in superior weapons, and something is missing from weapons that merely imitate them in shape. I realized that when I imitated Saber's sword. It's like it's like that character that you have like be like fairly dumb the entire time, and then like you just on a whim just all of a sudden that dumb character starts explaining quantum theory, and all the other characters just look at him like. By that argument, I think all the noble phantasms he used were perfect.
まあ、シローの発言はとりあえず置いておいて、あいつの正体がわからない以上、次は目的なんだけど。
Sokka sneaks a glance at Saber.
あいつも聖杯を狙ってるのは当然として、気になる点がもう
He's
一つあ
after
るんだよ
Saber.
ね。セイバー、はっきり聞いていいかしら。
Yeah, probably. Why does she put on that really evil smile when it comes to this kind of
そ
subject?
れはどういう意味でしょうか。
Because she's evil!
尋ねたいことがあるのならば遠慮することはありませんが。
そうなら聞くけど、セイバーはあいつをどう思ってるの？あいつの言いぶりからすると、どうもセイバーにお熱のようだったけど。
I'm not following Tosaka's lead, but I sneak a glance at Saber. Tosaka is saying it wrong, but it's true that he was attached to Saber. No, it wasn't that nice. He saw Saber as his and only his.
彼が何を考えているかなど私の知るところではありません。
Okay, I
で
guess.
すが前回の戦いの折求婚された覚えはあります。
Marriage? You mean... How does that work for servants?
この場合喜ぶべきか微妙だけど、それなりに悪い気はしないんじゃない？サーバントになってからも求愛されるなんて女冥利に尽きるってもんじゃない。
How would that even work if she did accept? Like, at that point, like...
元より私にそんな自由はない。私の目的は聖杯を手に入れることです。正直あのようなざれ言は勘に触ります。
そう？セイバーはそうでも、あいつはかなりご執心だったじゃない。あの手のタイプはね、相手が断っても一向に答えないんだから。セイバーも頑固だし、いっそああいうやつの方がお似合いかもよ。
No, that just seems like a very bad match. I don't know what's so funny, but Tosaka's words are irresponsible. Tosaka seems to be happy to be talking to Saber about this kind of thing. Saber seems to have no interest, but...
ですからそのようなことに関心はないと言っているでしょう。彼は確かに優れた英霊ですが、私とは考え方が違いすぎる。
It's almost like he doesn't seem like he has interest, at least from the little bit that we had, the little interaction that we had there with him. It doesn't seem like he treats her like, oh, I'm coming after you because I like you. It seems like more a possession thing than anything else.
へえ、だってさシロ、セイバーは男なんて関心がないんだって。
That isn't what she said.
リン、今のはシローには関係のない話だと思います。
Like, I'm pretty sure that is actively... that's actively not what she said.
今の発言はどこかおかしい。
Your statement's a little strange.
でしょうね。今のは私の出現だったわ。けど何がおかしいのかって、
Just
おかしい
dicking
こと
around.
がおかしいわけ。
And Tosaka laughs evilly. Her eyes seem to be laughing not only at Saber, but at me as well. It irritates me for some reason, and I stand up.
ちょっとどこ行くのよシロ。
お茶、喉が渇いたから。ついでだから人数分
Getting
入れてくる。
stabbed, getting your spinal cord ripped out, and getting healed. Take a lot out of you. Let's get some tea. I spit that out and go to the kitchen. I don't know why, but I'm irritated, so I think I'll prepare some extra bitter tea for Tosaka.
それじゃあとりあえず部屋に戻るわ。込み入った話は明日イリアが起きてからにしましょう。
Yeah, by the way, is Ilya okay? Like, After messing a lot with Saber, she drinks the bitter tea and stands up.
さっさと寝ちまえ。間違っても戻ってくる
I
な
hate
よ。
see ya, fam.
はいはい。それじゃああとはよろしくね。
I don't know what's so funny, but Tosaka leaves in a good mood.
シロはどうするのです。傷が癒えたと言っても無理は禁物ですから、今夜は休むべきではないでしょうか。
Now you know me well enough.
ああ、そのつもりだ。
Gotta go out and practice
もう少しイリ
projection.
アを見ている。問題
And
が
by
ないよ
that
う
I
だ
mean
ったら
sneak out to the
室に
shed and
移して
practice
そしたら
projection.
寝るよ。
そうですか。それでは、それまで
She's
私も
making sure that we
包みます
aren't back on our bullshit and heading out to the shed. I respect that. Our conversation ends there. It's really awkward once it's quiet, as Tosaka was the loud one. No, awkward isn't the right word. There are things I'm worried about and things I need to say, so my mind is impatient. Come to think of it, what I really want to tell her is all in a mess. About the Holy Grail, about her still being alive. Even if she does obtain the Holy Grail, there's no salvation for the girl called Arturia. I don't even need to say why. She has no wish for herself even now.
セイバー、さっきの話なんだが。
I don't think Saber's gonna want to retouch on that. Our eyes meet. Her awkward eyes seem to know what I'm gonna say.
はい。何でしょうか、シロ。
She tries to block my question with a calm voice, but I have to
だ
tell
か
her.
らさっきの話だ。遠坂も言っていたけど、聖杯を手に入れればサーバントはこっちに残れるんだろ。
いいえ、私は残るつもりはありません。聖杯を手に入れれば、元の私に
I'll
戻るだけで
return
す。
to the original time and die, and
それで
that's
王
all
の
that's
選定
left.
をやり直すっていうのか。死にかけた自分を救わずに、初めからやり直すのか。
はい。国を守るのは王の責務です。私の力が及ばなかったのですから、せめてふさわしい王を選び直さなければなりません。
Her words really make me angry.
このバカ！いい加減目を覚ませ！王の責務なんて関係ない。セイバーはこうしてここにいるんだから、あとは自分のやりたいことだけやってればいいんだ。
And that Saber's not gonna stand
セ
that
イ
way
バー
though.
は強いんだろ。なら、さっさと戦いを終わらせて、聖杯を手に入れて、サーバントなんてやめればいい。願い事があるんなら、昔に戻ってやり直しなんかするな。自分を変えたいんなら、昔じゃなくて今から取り戻す方法を取れってんだ。
Saber doesn't answer. Gives a small sigh.
シロ、しつこいです。その話はもうやめてほしい。
She firmly rejects my opinion.
それに、聖杯があればこの時代に残れるというわけでもあ
I
りませ
mean,
ん。
Archer there is. He's kind of living proof of
アー
that.
チャー、あのサーバントは聖杯を手に入れたから残っているわけではない。
But the point is,
なぜなら
even without the power, or even with the whole power of the Holy Grail, you can, you know, we were talking about it earlier. It's possible to incarnate like yourself. Like it's it's not even like
セイバー、
it's a pretty popular wish apparently, or it's a popular wish among servants.
ないものは手に入れようがないでしょう。
More popular than going back into the past and
街が炎
changing
に包まれ
everything.
た時、聖杯は破壊されたのです。私を裏切ったマスター、エニア・キリツグによって。
Fucking plot twist. Father was also her master. My vision closes in. I hold my body steady with my hands as it's about to fall.
エミヤ、キリツグ。
I really wish I didn't know about Fate Zero at all before playing this. Like, knowing about Fate Zero and other things just really really hurt some of this. Like, a lot of these reveals would be a lot more impactful if I had no previous knowledge of anything.
はい
Ah.
10年前前回の聖杯戦争における私のマスターは彼でした
Oh, she did win.
私とキリツグは最後まで勝ち残り聖杯はキリツグの手に渡ったアーチャーとそのマスターはまだ残っていましたからあとは彼らを倒すだけで聖杯戦争は終了する
Oh,
は
one
ず
to
だ
the end. I didn't read that right at
で
all.
すがキリツグは聖杯を捨てたのですその結果町は火に包まれました
Fate Zero spoiled.
あの男は私に命じて聖杯を破壊させたキリツグは最後の霊樹を使って私の手で強制的に聖杯を破壊させたのです聖杯が失われてはサーバントはこの世にとどまれないキリツグも私をとどめようとは思わなかった私の記憶はそこまでですあのアーチャーとの決着も私を裏切ったキリツグを問いただすこともできなかった
Well, it's not like I never thought about it. Father was a magus. If he lived in this town all his life, he must have been involved with the Holy Grail War.
なん
Still.
でそれを言わなかったんだセイバ
通常サーバントというのは以前の記憶など持ちませんし同じ英霊がサーバントとして召喚されることもない私はサーバントとしては異例です
What a bitch. Like, what a bitch of a, like, you know, exception. Like, this sucks. This sucks for Saber. This sucks pretty bad for Saber.
それにシローにはキリツグがどんなマスターだったのかを語るのは
ー気が進まなかったってどうして
シローあなたが私の過去を夢見たように
Saw everything about Kiritsugu raising him as well.
あなたのことにも驚きましたがキリツグの変わりようも私には信じられなかった
In like the little spin-off fun manga of All Around Type Moon, they had a really nice moment with Saber and Kiritsugu. For like basically like it was Fate Stay Night Saber, not Fate Zero Saber, and still somehow Kiritsugu because like the cafe they were in were like had weird like time control or time, yeah. Like it had weird bending in time and space and shit. And so Fate Zero Kiritsugu came and he was like, oh hey Saber, and Saber was like, she knew about the man that he would become and how he would change, and he was like, I don't forgive you, but yeah, good job on changing. And then he was like, what the fuck?
シローの記憶にいるエミやキリツグは立派な人物ですですが私の記憶にある彼はそのような人物ではなかった一言で言ってしまえば彼は典型的な魔術師だった己が目的にしか興味はなく阻む者は何であろうと排除する私が戦いを通して話しかけられたのは
3
3度です
times. And I'm guessing that's to use the command spells as
それが
well.
何であるかは言うまでもないとは思いますが、残忍というわけではなかったし殺人鬼というわけでもなかったけれど彼には情というものが存在しなかったキリツグが私を道具として扱ったように彼本人もまた
There has to
自
be
身を
more
道
to
具
it
として
than
しか
that,
見てい
though.
なかった
There's obviously more to it than that.
キリツグはあらゆる感情を殺しあらゆる敵を殺した
Because there has to be more to it than that, or else he wouldn't have become a man. He wouldn't have become the man that he would eventually become.
そこまでして
I
信
guess
じた
I'll
もの
figure
が
out
何
when
だ
I
ったの
fucking
か
watch Fate Zero.
私にはわからない
Because
ただ
there's probably at least a
その目的であった聖杯を
reason
前
for
にして
most of this shit.
彼は私に
An
破壊を命じた
unfortunate one that would probably paint him as kind of like a villain, but they're like more a tragic person more than anything else.
告白すればあの時ほどレイジの存在を呪ったことも私を裏切った相手を呪ったこともありません
There's some truth in Saber's words. No, they must all be true. Come to think of it, I don't know what Kiritsugu was like before that time 10 years ago. I couldn't guess anything about him before that time, and I saw no reason to learn about such things. Doesn't change a thing even if Kiritsugu was cold-hearted. The man that adopted me was really childlike, but my memory is my only truth. But what hurts my heart is, Kiritsugu was really a cold person. His last moments were just too empty.
そうか。じゃあ、俺がセイバーを呼び出せたのも、キリツグの息子だったからなのか。
Maybe, but there has to be a lot more to this. There's a lot more to
キリツ
this.
グは正規の手順で私を呼び寄せました。マスターとしての適性が高かったキリツグは、歴史のある魔術師の家系に雇われ、聖杯戦争に参加した。マスターとしての準備は、その家系が全て揃えたと言います。
Because, like, as much as you want to say, like, oh, my connection to him, that's you're a Dumbo. Like, my connection to Kiritsugu, but it's not like it's not a blood relation. You were adopted in the first place, and he never gave you the Emiya crest, the mage's crest. That would have really sealed the deal on, like, passing along that he was the next line of the Kiritsu or of the Emiya mages, but that didn't happen. So everything that Shiro is except the only thing that he actually got from Kiritsugu should be his attitude about wanting to become a hero more than anything else. But that was more because of its influence of Kiritsugu than anything else. You didn't get anything that would have been that substantial, I guess.
彼らは私の遺品をコーンウォールから発掘し、
or
キリツグに委ねて聖杯戦争に臨ませた。ですから、キリツグ本人には私を呼び寄せる因子もなければ、属性が近いというわけでもありません。
Okay. I get it. It's not too surprising that father used to be a master. What's surprising is that his servant was King Arthur, the one standing in front of me right now. And one more thing. Saber said that the Holy Grail was destroyed. Then, isn't this war completely meaningless?
わからないな。聖杯がもうないって、セイバーは初めから知っていたんだろう。
確かに、聖杯の有無は私には分かりません。けれど私が呼ばれた以上、
there has to be a Holy Grail. Or else they wouldn't have been able to become... They wouldn't have been able to be summoned here in the first place. Because nobody would be able to... Even with limitless power, like... They specifically went on and talk about, like, there's no way that people would be able to just summon servants willy-nilly. They're too strong, and they require too much mana to actually keep around. So there has to be a Holy Grail.
じゃあ、聖杯ってのは壊れても治ってるものなのか？
いいえ、聖杯はそう簡単に替えが利くものではない。一度壊れた聖杯が治ることなどないでしょう。
So is this a different Holy Grail?
ですがあるはずです。サーバントは聖杯の磁力に惹かれて現れる。それはあの神父も語っていたのではありませんか。
神父？そうか、あいつ。
Kotomine. How's it going? It's just at the church. Still standing there menacingly. The supervisor of the Holy Grail War was living at the church. That man that manages the Holy Grail must be able to answer all my questions. The end of the previous war. What happened to the destroyed Holy Grail and to the servant archer? Yes. What did Kiritsugu see at the end of the battle to make him destroy the Holy Grail? There also has to be a reason why he destroyed the Holy Grail. Like that, there's no two ways about that. I wake up alone. Even if she's recovered, Saber still has to sleep periodically. Saber went to bed right away after that, and I went to bed to relieve Saber. That was an hour ago. Past midnight. I'll be able to sneak out without Saber or Tosaka finding out now. Off to the shed! Or are we going to the church? We're going to the church. That's probably not a good idea. I don't know. I go out without making a sound. I thought about using a bicycle, but it'd be a problem if I woke them up by doing so. I guess I'll walk there. Ah, great, this music. This just absolutely makes me feel a lot more comfortable with Shiro's decision. There's no one around. Even if it's midnight, the silence is abnormal. Yeah, no, this is super dumb, Shiro. Like, I'm with you, like, 99% of the time, but this is like that 1% where you're just doing some dumb shit, man. Like, I get going to the church to go ask questions, but we have Archer that's going around out and about now, and we don't know what his modus operandi is except that he wants Saber. And we also have Lancer, who, in case I need to remind you, has killed you once already. This is awful. This is actually awful. What the fuck are you doing? On the other hand, I feel contradictory heat under the road, as if there's a whirlpool of something black. Has something happened to the town in the few days that I was held at Ilya's place? Feels like ill omens are everywhere. I look up at the mountain in the distance. The Ryudo temple, which was far away from the city, looks like a black lump from here. It's just that it seems like it's throbbing along with the night wind. That's not good. We are so far away from home. At the very least, we could use commands to develop if things go bad, but do you really want to waste one of those? I crossed the dark river and walked to Shinto. That day, that night I first met Saber and walked on this bridge with Tosaka seems like so long ago. I see the church, and I've never been to the church. Even though I told Tosaka that I do have a connection to this church. I was supposed to be entrusted to the church and adopted somewhere later. 10 years ago. All the children in that hospital were orphans, and they were all temporarily entrusted with the church. I was the only one of them adopted from the hospital. That must be why. I felt kind of guilty and unconsciously avoided the church. That's why I told Tosaka it was my first time visiting the church on that night 11 days ago. Found your YouTube channel, wanted to wish you a good stay night experience. Hey, thanks. I really appreciate that. We're getting pretty far in it. Yeah, this is my first read-through of it. Like I think I said it in the first video, but like I have some previous experience with Fate stuff just because of Grand Order and just general spoilers on other things. But this is my first actual read-through of Fate Stay Night, and even with it, like me being spoiled on a lot of shit, there's been tons of surprises. Like, what the fuck Emiya's doing right now? Come on, Shiro, back it up. This is a bad idea. I don't like that priest, but there's something I need to ask him. And let's go. We're only walking right into a possibly bad place. Take a deep breath and go through the heavy doors. It's only like 1 o'clock in the morning. No big deal. Keep on walking while I call out. I can't sense anyone in the chapel. Even though the lights are on, it's so big and quiet that I feel more afraid than I would in complete darkness. It took me to really read that. There's no reply. I can't go in any farther, so maybe I should give up and go home for tonight. I instantly turned towards the sound. How the fuck did you do that? The sudden encounter leaves me speechless. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned, and I made a dumbass decision, while also lying to my housemates. Konomine says so and returns to the door you Maelstrom. This isn't confessional. We don't need to confess anything. So saying, Konomine opens the door to the back of the chapel. I'm far more interested in my two Babylon. Okay. That's what you came from. Okay. Yeah, the Babylonia stuff is going to be all uploading the rest of the time. I'm all done with Babylonia. That's all uploaded. That's scheduled to upload throughout the rest of the month. Those will be uploaded at 11 a.m. every morning on Monday through Friday. Cannot have us talk about such bloody subjects here. Kotomine disappears into the back without waiting for me to reply. Ah, come, child, it's very fine. Come into the back shady part of the church, which is already shady since I'm a magus that's part of the church. Don't mind me, just going into the back shady part of the church. Don't follow up! I renew my determination not to be intimidated by Kotomine and follow him. No, fuck! Is this a courtyard? There's a park with a passageway that seems too elegant for Kotomine to live in alone. The priest turns yet another corner. How do we even bring this up? Like, we shouldn't have this knowledge at all. So, like, what do we do? The church is like a small maze, so I have to follow. That's definitely not spelling anything bad. Yep, done in daily video uploads. Yep, that shit's all planned out. It's gonna go for a while. It's a modest room made out of stone. This inelegant room seems to be Kotomine's. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that, man. I'm unfortunately out of alcohol. I mean, we're kind of in high school right now, man. It's not that big of a deal. Is this faint smell of wine? Must really like it if the smell is lingering in this room. My dulcet tones. Good guy, Kirei. Alright, see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. As expected, I hate this guy. He's out of alcohol because he drank it all. No! What an awful guy. He's the real villain of all this. Feels like it feels like he can read my mind. And I feel intimidated when I talk to him. You probably shouldn't have brought that up. That seems like a very bad thing. Yeah. We're kind of laying out all our cards on the table. This is The priest sinks into silence as if pondering. Ah, fuck. Ah, fuck. Yeah, but like, apparently we have the exception here, and I'm just gonna keep on wagging my mouth because, I mean, to be fair, we are supposed to trust him. He is supposed to be the mediator. But, I don't like the cut of his jib. Priest ponders as he must not assent to that fact. I see. He doesn't know that Saber isn't a complete heroic spirit yet, so he's having trouble understanding. I don't like his haughty attitude, but this is no time to oppose him. I don't like it, but this priest might give me some answers.
その代償として英霊になることを認めたとか。だからあいつはまだ死んだわけじゃないんだ。聖杯を手に入れるまでは死なず、手に入れてしまえば完全なサーバントになるって。
死んでいない。ではセーバーはまだ輪廻の枠にとどまっている。
That's the most of it. It took me a while to actually properly understand that because I feel like they were either messing up their explanations. Like I said, they had to come up with a literal diagram to like fully explain that shit. That was confusing.
トサカはセイバーは一人で時間に止まっているとも言ってた。
そうか。
Yeah, they are. They very much are.
消えるのではなく、聖杯を手に入れるまでは英霊として駆り出されるということか。だがあれは未だ聖杯を手に入れていないため、失敗するたびに死の直前にいる自身に戻ってしまう。そうして前回の記憶を持ったまま。
Because she's still pretty much alive. She's only mostly dead. See, there's a big difference between mostly dead and actually dead. Now lift his legs. Or open his mouth.
わざわざ死ぬために聖杯を求めるとは英雄というのは分からぬな。そうして手に入れたところで待っているのはサーバントとして刺激されることだけだろうに。
そうだ。たとえ聖杯を手に入れてあいつが望みを叶えたところで、あいつ
I
は
don't like
他
that.
のサーバントと
That
同じ
smirk
になっ
isn't
ちまうんだ
good.
ろ
That smirk isn't good at all.
俺にはそれが納得いかない。そもそもサーバントって何なんだ。英霊を使い魔にするっていうが、セイバーみたいに矛盾した英霊もあり得るのか。
さあ、そのあたりのシステムなど知らんよ。
I don't know. I play the game. I just play the game. Don't really listen to the rules.
魂の永続。
Hating a... He looks like an asshole. He looks like a shaggy asshole. Spoken from one shaggy asshole to the next. Fucking...
魂の
いや、もともとはそういうものだっただけという話だ。関係のないことだ。忘れろ。それで意味やしろ。つまるところ、お前はあのセーバーをサーバントではなくしたいというのだな。
Did he guess right? I certainly think Saber's situation is strange. It's fine that she wants to obtain the Holy Grail, but all that waits her is elimination. The king, other than King Arthur, is chosen and King Arthur is no more. I think it's wrong for her to be summoned as the hero King Arthur after that. Though if she can stop being a servant and live as a normal human being...
それは不可能だ。
Ah, fuck.
死者は蘇らない。いかに時間に止まっていようと、私たちにとってセーバーは死んだものだ。彼女を現世に呼び出しているのは聖杯の力であり、彼女が英霊になる交換条件を飲んだからだろう。聖杯を求めない彼女はサーバントとして召喚されることはない。そして聖杯を求める以上、
She's just kind of like a walking contradiction right now.
完全なサーバントになるだろう。
A normal human being would... I mean, she's still... She's mostly a servant at this point. Like, she's... It's hard! I don't know!
たとえ今回が失敗に終わっても、彼女にはチャンスなど無限にある。
But that's a hell. Because she's still retaining her memories. Like, that's hell. That's actually hell.
同時に行えるというわけでもないし、一度失敗した試練をやり直すということもできない。一度失敗した試練は何度やり直そうと失敗する。結果を体験しているからといって、
Okay, now you're losing me, guy.
決定した結果は変えられないからな。だがそれでも聖杯を手に入れるのは時間の問題だろう。聖杯を手に入れる機会はこの聖杯戦争だけではない。聖杯に関する試練はあらゆる時代に存在する。そのすべてをしらみつぶしに続けていけば
I'm confused too. Fuck time loops. Yeah, this is just like, yeah, fuck. You lost me.
そもそも彼女は結果として聖杯を手に入れるからこそ英霊として召喚されているのだ。お前のセーバーをサーバントでなくす方法など あれがお前の前に現れた時点で存在しまいよ。
I mean, there is. What if that was what Kotomine was trying to do? Not Kotomine, sorry. Kiritsugu was trying to do. What if that was what Kiritsugu was trying to do? And once he learned about her fate and felt like, oh, I get it. I don't. But what if that was what Kiritsugu was trying to do, since he saw what she was trying to do to herself and then forced her to destroy the Grail like that? Just to try and save her from herself? I don't know. But from Saber's description, that isn't something that Kiritsugu would do. But again, she's also biased. Yeah, no, in some timeline, definitely. As long as Saber seeks the Holy Grail, there's no way to stop her from being a servant. Yeah. After all, she'll continue like this until Saber herself decides to use the Holy Grail for her own sake. It's pretty complicated. Even if this Holy Grail war ends and there's no need to fight anymore, she will go on the next chance to obtain the Holy Grail if she cannot obtain it this time. Once she obtains it, she'll become a heroic spirit thing and be sent out to many ages. She's already a servant because she's a servant right now because she had pledged herself to become a heroic spirit after death upon as long as she got the Holy Grail. But because she couldn't get the Holy Grail, that created kind of a contradiction. But she still had her debt, kind of. But she didn't have the necessary requirements to become a heroic spirit. But she's still a servant because she was dead and she was summoned forth because that was the only opportunity for her to collect the Holy Grail collect the Holy Grail. And because of that, now every time she's brought back as a servant, even though she's not a proper heroic spirit yet. But she will eventually become a heroic spirit once she collects the Holy Grail. I don't know, man. This shit's fucked.
そうとは限らんだろう。聖杯が本当に万能の杯であるのなら、セーバーを救うことはできる。
Oh no, we have to argue about it in chat.
けど、あんたはさっきそれは不可能だと。
Wait, what's then she'll continue to be a servant. No, that's not the case. If the Holy Grail is truly omnipotent, it will be able to save Saber.
なあ、セーバーをサーバントでなくすのは不可能だ。
It's alright, Rafa. This shit is confusing,
セー
regardless.
バーを人としてこの世に留まらせることだろう。ならば、そう難しいこと
Use your wish or have her wish for her to stay
聖
in
杯
this
戦
world.
争が終わった後、サーバントを人として生かすこともできる。
それはどうやって？
英霊とサーバントは似て非なるもの。
Okay, hold
という
on.
ことだ。
Hold on. Stay right there. Spurious. Not being what it purports to, false or fake. Of a line of reasoning, apparently but not actually valid. What the fuck? What does that mean?
通常英霊として召喚される者には意志などない。連中はただ目的を果たすためだけの道具として召喚され。だがサーバントは別だ。あれは聖杯によって呼び出された本体だからな。それならば世界に留めておくだけで。
Man, we never escape exposition. We really never escape exposition. That's just like, hey, we're gonna introduce brand new concepts all the time.
セイバーは聖杯が壊れた時点で消えたと言っていた。聖杯がなくなってしまえば、サーバントは残っていられないんじゃないのか。
But then,
無論だ。サーバントを呼び出すのは聖杯であ
but
り。
then,
そ
how
の後に彼
did
らを維持させ
Archer
る
stay
のがマスター
around?
の役割だ。
Because that contradicts Archer staying here from the last Holy Grail War.
聖杯がマスターの後押しをしているからでね。本来魔術師一人程度の魔力では サーバントを維持できない。聖杯という強大な魔力提供源がなければサーバントは消えてしまう。
But we have one that stuck around.
なら
いや、足りないの
But is bringing it up to him gonna be the right idea?
サーバントにとって魔力提供など代償行為に過ぎない。連中の本質は魂食いだ。
So Archer stuck around this entire time because he's consumed a lot of souls. But how many souls do you have to consume to stick around for 10 years? Does that mean attacking random people like Shinji did?
避けるな。そんなことできるものか。
I joined to get a definition of a word. Already learned more than school. That's great.
大体な。
Thanks, Fate Stay Night, for teaching me not only the mythology of these heroes, but also the words that I don't understand that you use.
そうか。ならば、あとは聖杯の中身を使うしかあるまい。簡単な話だ。
Have her consume...
お
You must have predicted my response. The priest's expression tells me that he was waiting to reach this conclusion from the very beginning.
聖杯で俺の願いを叶えろってことか。
But that wish would go against go against Saber's wishes at this point. Would she really be happy with that existence? That's another problem. Us doing that would really not be... She wouldn't enjoy it at the very least. Also, I just want to say, I think it's really funny because how tall this motherfucker is. Like, he's always, like, smirking and being a smug lord, but, like, it's constantly being, like, blocked out because of the text box.
リンから聞かなかったか。サーバントは杯に満ちた水を飲むことによって。
Just gotta carry a bottle of water on us now.
それはこの時代の使い魔として立場を確立したに過ぎぬがな。肉体は依然サーバントのままだが。
けど、それは。
Hasn't solved anything. Even if she can stay in this world, it's meaningless if she's still a servant. She can't exist without magical energy from her master, and even if she stays in a world like that, she returns to that hill after she dies. Saber wouldn't do it. He isn't interested in a second life, and she said she's going to use the Holy Grail for another purpose. Oh, but first of all, the key to everything is the Holy Grail. Does it mean it still exists in this world?
話は分かった。結局、聖杯を手に入れ
So
るしかない。
everything loops back to, you know, we have to actually win. Aw,
聖杯はある
man.
のか。
もう何かね。
聖杯がないのなら戦う理由がない。
But yeah, that's the whole thing that we're at now, as if the Holy Grail is actually still a thing at this point, since it was destroyed, or supposedly destroyed in the last Holy Grail War. Which, I mean, we have no reason not to believe Saber at this point.
戦う理由はないか。何を今さら。
Because the Holy Grail's supposedly
元よ
gone.
り君に理由などない。
As he says so, time freezes. No reason to fight. That's what this priest told me before. That time, I just became a master and I didn't have much of a reason to fight. That's why I ignored it. I thought it was just sarcasm. What about now? I have a reason to fight. If there's a Holy Grail, I want to end this fight and give it to Saber. I have a reason to fight. I have a reason to fight. Why do his words make my body shake so much that I want to vomit?
まあよかろう。
No, we can't forget about that. Go back to that. What do you mean? You can't do that to us. I hear a voice. A voice I don't want to hear, but it makes my mysterious nausea stop.
聖杯はある。元より聖杯は受け皿に過ぎぬからな。
It's a vessel?
なくなれば、用意した者が新しい聖杯を用意する。
用意した者が新しい聖杯を用意するって。聖杯ってそんな簡単に作れるものなのか。
It's just like a certificate. Like,
器を作るだけならば
congratulations, you have won the 5th Holy Grail War.
無論、相応の技術が必要となってくるが、元よりその技術なくして聖杯戦争は成り立たなかった。もともと、聖杯とは神の血を受け継いだ杯ではなく、古より伝わる魔法の鎌が原型なのだ。お前も魔術師の端くれならば知っていよう。ユートピア。ギリシャ語でたどり着けない場所という意味を持つそこには、
I don't like this word. I don't like this use of the word vessel. I really don't. Oh no. Oh no. Something just clicked in my mind. So the word vessel means that it's, you know, a living thing. It's being appropriated by something else. That it's being put on, like, which doesn't bode well because that probably means that it's a person. And what did our golden-clad archer say earlier to our good friend Ilya? So you're the fifth one. This isn't good. This isn't good at all. Oh no. Oh no! And Ilya had said that the Holy Grail was always hers. Because, oh, that's not good at all. I don't like this. I don't like where this is going. Yeah.
連中は何代かにわたって万能の釜を再現する儀式を模索し、それが一度目の聖杯戦争。人工物に過ぎない聖杯に万能の釜を降霊させ。
アインツベルン。それってイリアの家のことか。
Well, if you want to rush me.
アインツベルンはラインの黄金とやらの伝承に長けていてな。こと。聖杯の模造品を作る技術は
Ilya's gonna be the Holy Grail.
だが、それだけでは聖杯を呼び出すことはできん。ふさわしい土地と強力な呪縛が必要となる。
Suitable land and a strong curse.
それらを提供したのが遠坂とマキリ
だ。Was Makiri the No, that's Mato. What was the Makiri line of mages? I feel like they've mentioned them before. I'm gonna Google it while I'm busy.
軽装の真っ最中だったからな。儀式には教会の目が届かない極東の地が選ばれた。
Okay. So they were just it's the same thing. Okay.
アインツベルンはそれを見越して遠坂を仲間に引き入れたのだろう。遠坂はここ一帯の霊地の持ち主であり、その種は高霊術の対価だった。
So they were the ones that were chosen for the land. Einsburn was the actual cup, and a betrayal. So they brought in a third family just to, you know, has fucking what's it called? Just have like order of balance. But Makiri family is mostly burned out at this point, hasn't it?
こと使い魔に関しては優れた技法を持っていた。サーバントを縛る霊樹を作り上げたのもマキ。そうして連中は聖杯召喚に一致団結したわけだが、いざ成功してみれば、残ったのは潰し合いだ。一度目の聖杯の降霊は連中が戦っている間に終わってしまったらしいな。
Hey, we got the cup finally. Good thing that we're just gonna, you know, kill everyone and everyone's gonna be dying. Oh wait, okay, so the actual vessel was the responsibility of the Einsburns family. Land was the responsibility of the Tosaka family, and the curse was the responsibility of the Makiri family. I don't like where that bodes for other things.
遠坂はこの土地とサーバントを形作るシステムを提供し。
Okay.
マキリはサーバントを
Makiri was the command spell, but the fact that you use curse isn't that doesn't bode well for other things. I'm gonna be honest. I also like, I've done this a few different times where I'll just talk about a whole bunch of shit beforehand and like not continue on with plot. And then I'll finally start continuing on with plot, and they'll talk about the exact same thing, and I'm like, oh, whoops. Priest continues happily as if something pleases him. I see. They say the Holy Grail War is a ritual, but Ilya's family was the original proposer.
聖杯を用意したのはアインツベルンだからな。前回キリツグに裏切られた彼らは最強の切り札を投入してきた。おそらくアインツベルンの娘が聖杯を持っているのだろう。
Yeah. Ilya has the Holy Grail? That's weird. I don't think she had anything with her.
さて、
As Shiro connect the dots, they said vessel.
お前が何を悩むのかは私には知り得ない。
Not really.
だが解決する手段は聖杯のみだ。それが分かったのなら早々に帰るがいい。戦いはまだ終わっていない。セーバーもつけずに出歩くのは
That is definitely the truth, though. That is 100% the
余
truth.
計なお世話だ。まだランサーのマスターが残っていることぐらい。
Hold on. There's one more thing I need to ask him.
聖杯が消えればサーバントも消える。あんたはそう言ったな。
言ったが、何か問題でも。
終わりだ。何者かは知らないが、8人目のサーファントがいた。
Ah, goddamn it. Whoops. It must have been a surprise. Kotomina opens his eyes and mutters in disbelief. Well, apparently he doesn't know anything. Great. Oh, he regained his composure pretty fast to be smug.
そう不思議ではあるまい。前回の戦いはセーバーが聖杯を破壊することで終わったのだ。つまり、セーバーの他にもう一人、サーバントは残っていた。セイバーは潔く消えたが、そのサーバントが限界することを望んだのなら、それは魂を食らうことで魔力を補い、この10年間生き続けたのだろう。
そんなバカな。あいつの気配は異常だった。あんなのが10年間もいたら、親父だってあんただって気がつくはずだ。
わかっている。おそらくかくまっている者がいたのだろう。
Or
そのサーバントのマスター。
doesn't really have presence concealment.
もしくは、
聖杯戦争を知りながらマスターの資格を持ち得なかった魔術師だ。そういった人物には一人心当たりがあるのだが、それもない。
Ah, great. Kotomine must be satisfied as he gets up from the sofa.
話はここまでだ。今の話を聞いては、監督
What are you
役とし
planning
て
to do
放っては
against him? That archer was insane.
そのサーバントに関しては私が調べよう。お前は残るランサーとの戦いに専念するがいい。
But yeah, all that's left is Lancer. If we can manage to ignore Archer somehow, but I don't think we're going to be able to ignore Archer. He's a much bigger threat than Lancer is, as much as I don't want. Because I love Lancer. Lancer's like one of my favorite characters in the series, but as much as I don't want to admit it, Archer is a very much bigger threat than Lancer is at the current point. Well, there's certainly nothing more to be gained from being here. I leave the dark room and follow Kotomine, who leads me to the exit silently. I leave the church. Behind me,
聖杯を手に入れればセーバーは死ぬ。その意味が
you
分かっ
just,
ているの
you
だ
know,
ろうな。
be an imposing, terrifying dickhead to everybody that comes into this church, or is it specifically us? The priest asks as if confirming it. The priest is looking down at me from the doorway. Saber will die if she obtains the Holy Grail. I already know that. Saber's goal is to obtain the Holy Grail, and she doesn't want the Holy Grail's power. Once she obtains the Holy Grail, nothing will bind her. She will be freed from her situation, frozen on the verge of death, and she'll die an unrewarded death on that hill.
どういう風の吹き回しだ？あんたがそんな忠告をするたまか。
This is gonna put us in a very bad situation, though.
なあ、
For multiple different reasons.
お前がセーバーに肩入れしている様は喜ばしいのでな。私なりの行為として忠告しているのだよ。聖杯を手に入れてしまえばセーバーは消える。彼女と共にいたいのならば、聖杯は諦めるべきだろうとな。
それこそ矛盾してる。聖杯がなかったら セイバーをとどめておけない。
I mean, Saber is just kind of like a walking contradiction right now, and that's kind of the biggest worry.
聖杯に頼ることはあるまい。先ほどのサーバントの話もある。セーバーを存命させたいのなら。
Which we could use a command spell to force her to do that, but that's not in either Shiro's nature or Saber's nature. They do not want that.
できるもんか。
It wouldn't be worth it. I glare at the priest.
そうか。それは残念だ。
You must not even care about my glare as the priest is laughing.
ならば、聖杯の中身に期待するしかないな。お前のサーバントが望まないにしても、レイジを一つ残しておけばそれでいい。
But she won't be happy with that.
お前。
It's we're damned if we're due and we damned if we don't. Like, we're not in a good position right now, at least concerning Saber. Like, winning the Holy Grail War, we have Archer to deal with, but apparently fucking Kodamine is gonna do something about it. We have Lancer to deal with, but Lancer's not the biggest threat a lot around. I don't know. Berserker was definitely the most of it, and he's gone now. Lancer's definitely very dangerous still, and we'd be a fool to sleep on him, but it's mostly just down to morals at this point. That if I'm that doesn't matter even if Saber doesn't want it. That if I'm a master, I can just force her to drink using the power of the command spell.
おや、失言だったか。そう睨むな。あくまで今のは忠告に過ぎん。
Yeah.
ま、セイバーの意志を尊重するのもよかろう。彼女の人生だ。我々が口を出す権利はない。
She doesn't want what's best for herself. This shit sucks. This shit sucks.
明日中に調べ上げよう。気が向いたのなら。
The door to the church closes. Looking up at the church, I grit my teeth, telling myself that I will never come here again. Across the moonlit bridge. This is the place I walked with Saber. At that time, I was just looking at the scenery, not thinking about anything.
聖杯を手に入れればセーバーは死ぬ。その意味が分かっているのだろうな。エミやシロ。
I know. I know without him telling me. Why is everything so complicated? Saber must not obtain the Holy Grail. But it is the only thing that can save her.
彼女と共にいたいのならば聖杯は諦めるべきだろう。それでも存命させたいのなら。彼女に魂を
We're really in a damned if we do, damned if we don't situation. Lose. Can't do that. Even if I accepted that, Saber wouldn't. She would rather disappear than doing such things. She would disappear and repeat this kind of war. That's the thing, regardless if we do win or if we don't win, she's going to be forced to do it again regardless, because if she does win, then she's going to go back or just, you know, fuck around with history, make sure that somebody else gets the grail or pulls the Sword of Selection and kind of get rid of her history. But in doing that, she's also going to become a proper heroic spirit and be able to be summonable for other Holy Grail wars in the future. Whereas if we force her to stay around here, then and not get the Holy Grail, then she's going to disappear eventually of her own volition once the Holy Grail is gone, because she's not going to want to like go and attack people and, you know, absorb their spirit to stick around. She's going to disappear, and then she's going to be resummoned at some point in the future because she's still bound by the Holy Grail, and she's going to retain her memories of everything. I stop and punch the rails as if shaking off the command spell. A hard steel sound echoes through the night. That's the only sound around here. There are no people nor cars around. I lean on the rail and spit it out. I know I should just ignore Konomine's opinion, but his words had a charm that made me unable to ignore them. Ah, you lovable bastard! What did I want to do, and what was I trying to fight for? At first, it was to end the Holy Grail War. When did that purpose fade away and become secondary? Was it when I was obstinate about fighting by myself? Was it when I decided to cooperate with Saber after I painfully realized how powerless I was? Or from that time I made the sword for her after that night in the ruins? I'm just trying to deceive myself with all that. I don't even need to think about it. Back then, when I met her in the moonlit in that shed, my mind was already made up. That would have been fine. If I hadn't found out because of the dreams, this probably would have ended before I knew it. But I found out. I couldn't leave her alone and decided I didn't want to lose her. I want to stay like this. I want to keep watching her smile. The girl, watching the sunset all alone in that hill of swords. My chest hurts thinking back to it. She never had time that was her own. I just don't like that. Hiratsugu said we shouldn't let girls cry. I think a smiling face is much better than a crying one. That's why I was irritated when Saber wasn't smiling. But when I told her to smile, she said that it was better if she saw me smiling. It's like seeing stars through a telescope that you can never reach. You know, we can be upset and grumpy all we want, but like, I'm actually seriously concerned that we should get back to the house immediately. I look up at the night sky, looking up at the stars, looking up at the star I can never reach. I thought that was more of a drip. Oh, is it raining? An unnoticed tear falls. Yeah, it's raining. I say to no one. However dull I am, I have to admit it. There's nothing I can do about it. I like her so much I can cry for no reason. Quick to accept it at the base. Yeah, I had to go back to the church. How's it going, Tosaka?
Tosaka.
玄関で立ち話もなんでしょ。疲れてるみたいだし、こっち来なさいよ。
Man, I'm surprised she isn't, you know, telling us off right away as soon as we get back in. She takes my arm without asking me and starts to walk. And takes me to her room.
はいお茶。外寒かったでしょ。
She says so rather bluntly, but she's thought, this is about to be hella bitter because we gave her hella bitter tea before we left, isn't it?
Thank you.
Honestly, I appreciate the hot tea. It's about an hour to the neighboring town. Since I walk slowly, my body is freezing cold.
で、綺麗のとこに行ってたの？
She asked me directly. I see. So Tosaka knew all along. But she didn't even stop me. Just waited for me to come home and prepared me some tea. I've made up my mind, and I appreciate Tosaka's thoughtfulness. That must be why...
行ってきた。聞きたいことがあったから。
I reply honestly, not hiding anything.
そっか。じゃあ何をしてきたかは聞かない。
Yeah,
シロ
yeah,
も
sure.
それでいいでしょ。
そうだな。それにあんまり身のある話じゃなかった。
We got information, but it wasn't like anything super useful. Yeah, just more... We informed some people about some shit going on, and that may or may not have been the best
でも
idea.
驚いたな。セイバーがまだサーバントになりきってないだなんて。最強のサーバントがその実
Well, it does
一番
raise questions about how
最強
strong
の
she
サーバント
would be
だ
when
った
she was
なんて
complete,
悪い冗談じゃない。
or if she ever does become
そうだ
complete.
な。セイバーはサーバントになんてならなければよかったんだ。
I nod.
意外ね。シロとアーチャー、もしかしたら気があったのかもしれないな。
Oh god.
アーチャーって。
Means her Archer, not the golden one. The red one.
アーチャーも言ってたわ。自分は後悔してるから、セイバーにはそうなってほしくないって。
なんであいつがセイバーの心配をするんだよ。あいつ、セイバーを嫌ってたじゃないか。
Never said that he hated
そう
her.
なんだ
I
けど
don't
ね。
think so. Did he?
やっぱりさ、あいつってセ
remember that.
イバーにゆかりの騎士だったんじゃないかな。初めてセイバーと戦った時、あいつ明らかに手を抜いてたでしょ。
そうなのか。けど、 セイバーはアーチャーに見覚えはないようだったぞ。
Yeah.
そうなの？けどセイバーは王様だったんでしょ？
Tons of knights under her command and
なら
everything like that.
国民をすべて把握していたわけでもないし、忘れてることだってあるんじゃない？
あのな、そういうこと言い出したらそれこそキリがない。顔を見て思い出せないようなやつならそれは知らないってことだと思うけど。
And I'd assume she would have known most of the major knights, so I
そうでもない
doubt
わ
that,
よ。
you know, Archer was a
伝
knight
説だ
on
と
the
さ、
round table or
アー
anything
サー
like
王の
that.
進化には運が悪くてキャメロットを追われた
I
騎士
mean,
も
I
多いでしょ？
I can't
あい
even
つ
fuck around like
その
that.
一人だったのかもしれないわ。
But in universe, we can't assume that sort of thing.
あいつが正体を隠していたのは私にじゃなくてセイバーに対してだった。
Osaka's actively talking to me. She trying to care for me? Ah, man, this is the first time we've had a real conversation. I don't think it's having much effect, but she's a nice girl. She's usually merciless, but she tries to help people when they're weakened. And so we drink tea together for a while. Must have run out of patience as she looks at me seriously.
で、あなたはどうしたいの？シロ。
とりあえず明日はデートする。
Can't think of anything else, and I already decided so. Oh my god, I already decided so on my way home. And then, where did that solemn atmosphere go? After making a really rude face, Tosaka... I mean, we kind of said that seriously, matter of fact, like, yeah, just gonna go on a date. Bursts into laughter.
ちょっと待って。心の準備が。すごいってば。すっごいわがままぶりよ、シロ。
Damn. Now that I think about it calmly, I should have known this was gonna happen. I'm such an
う
idiot.
るさい。わがままで悪いか。そんな場合じゃないって分かってるけど。
Right.
違う。シロがおかしくて。
Probably thinks we're fucking with her. Osaka hits my back, holding her stomach. Hey, I got stabbed in there! Could this be the worst treatment I've taken so far?
心底笑ったわ。
She tries to catch her breath.
そりゃよかったな。こっちは全然笑えなかった。
This is very serious, Tosaka. Don't laugh at us.
デート、頑張んなさい。
I like you guys. Osaka says so, her attitude completely changed.
おう。
That was a real surprise attack. She says that kind of thing with that kind of expression. All I can do is nod. I return to my room. Saber is still asleep and the mansion is quiet, like nothing has happened. It was raining today, but what will the weather be like tomorrow? Looking up at the moving clouds, I step out of character and wish for it to be sunny tomorrow. I think this is the most peaceful end of day that we've had. Jesus Christ. Also, that was a very long day. That was 3 hours and 3.5 hours. Going for a second day because I missed yesterday, so we're going with this. So, before I realize it, it's morning already. And you went back out to the shed to practice magic. I stopped the alarm clock with a sigh. Today is my date with Saber, no matter what she says. I'm going to go take her to places she hasn't been and play around. The most important thing is for her to enjoy herself. I was trying to use the knowledge I don't have to come up with a plan for the day, but the alarm clock went off before I noticed the time. Set the alarm clock just in case. I couldn't come up with any good plans last night, so I borrowed it from Tosaka Tosaka thinking I might take a long time to come up with a plan. It was useless in the end. Going on our first date! Come on, get excited, guys. I sigh again. That's the problem. Even more shocking than the fact that I couldn't get any sleep is the fact that I couldn't come up with any plan that might make a girl happy. Even though I thought about it all night long. Just gotta take her everywhere. Take her to the movies, take her to a restaurant, take her to the park. What else do we got? What other date things are there? We go to a cute looking store, she's bound to have fun. Well, I think the plan has some weak points, but I've made up my mind, so that's what I'm gonna do. Not like I'm have any other ideas, so I'm gonna entertain her until she gives up. I'm gonna have fun with you until you don't wanna
では
fucking
リリアス
I
フィー
don't
ルはまだ目を覚ましていないのですか？
ええ、まだ眠ったまま
know.
よ
Wow, Elia's still awake
あ
or
の様子
asleep.
なら目を
That's
覚ますのにも
surprising.
うしばらくかかりそうだけど、今日はそれが幸いしたわね。イリア、起きてればシローの後について回って邪魔してただろうし。
そうですね。今までのようにシローに同行されてはたまらない。昨夜はああなってしまいましたが、今日からは本気で残るマスターを探すのです。シローにはリリアスフィールに
Yeah,
構って
we're
い
gonna
る
go
余
look
裕
for the
はありま
last
せん。
master. Exactly, exactly.
ああ、そっちの邪魔じゃないんだけど、まあいいか。私が言っても仕方ないし、これはシローとセイバーの問題だし。
Osaka tries to hide her laughter.
私とシローの問題って
Here we have Saber, none the wiser about everything that's gonna happen. Saber's expression questions me. We're done eating breakfast, so this is a good time. Saber is ready to go and search for masters, but I have willpower as well. I just need to come out with it like a
その
man.
ことだけどな、今日は隣町に出るから、支度があるなら今のうちに済ませておいてくれ。
マスター探しですか？
Fucking smug
それ
Lord
でしたら
Tosaka
隣
in
町
the
ではな
back.
く郊外の
Come
方
on,
が
Ren.
確実だと思いますが。
そんなんじゃない。二人で遊びに行くんだから、郊外になんて行っても仕方
We're
ないだ
gonna go have fun. You ever heard of it? Saber freezes. I really have to get back to the person behind her who's trying not to laugh.
シロー、それはどういう意味でしょうか？
With you?
遊びに行くとはシローとリンではなく、その
俺が行くんだから、ついてくるのはセイバー以外いないだろう。登坂はうちでイリアの面倒を見てもらうから関係ない。
何をバカな。私とシローが隣町を探索したところで成果は薄い。そのようなことをして
That's
も
the
意味が
whole
ない。
point.
一
It's
体何
gonna
をし
be
ようというのですか
meaningless.
あなたは。
We're gonna go have fun! Saber complains directly. This is what I expected, but the future looks troublesome. As she still thinks we're going to town to look for the master, even after I told her clearly.
ここまで行ってもわからないん
It's
だな。
not just the
セイ
harem
バーは
protagonist that's dense, but also
俺は
the
デート
female
しようっ
lead.
て言ってるんだけど、どうかな。
I ask, ignoring Tosaka's stare. I don't know how much she understands.
そのような言い方ではわかりません。
God
具体的な内容を提
fucking
示してくれません
damn!
か、シロー。
Holy fuck! Wow, okay, spell it out clearly, spell it out clearly. Ooh, okay. That flips a switch within me. It seems like caring for her has the opposite effect when it comes to things like this. It seems it would be to both of our benefits to state it clearly.
シロー、町に出るというのなら従いますが、デートをしようとはどういうことな
God
のか
damn!
説明してください。
What does it mean?
いくらこの時代に慣れていると言っても、私にも知らない単語はあります。あまり専門的な略語は使わないでほしい。
別に専門的な単語じゃないぞ。知らないなら教えてやるけど、デートってのは女の子と遊びに行くって意味だ。
は？
Saber freezes.
女の子とは私のことを
Ding
言っている
ding
のでしょう
ding
か？
ding, we have a winner. Your prize is a date with us. Let's go. Time's a ticking. She murmurs, still astonished. When I nod, Saber frowns even more unhappily.
言葉の意味は分かりましたが、意図が全く分かりません。そんなことをする理由は何ですか？
Now Tosaka's even upset. Like, this is disappointing. This is not the results that we wanted. Her reaction is unexpected. The intention of a date is obvious, but I'm a bit hesitant to tell Saber straight on.
ああ、もうそんならしくない単語を使うから勘違いさせるのよ。で、
God damn it. There was a lot left. Tosaka interrupts us as if unable to ignore us. We're kinda, you know. Yeah.
デートってのはね、要するに相引きのことなの。
I can't use technical words like date, but the easy words like rendezvous definitely is a lot
シロ
easier.
は遊びに行くって言うけど、つまるところ 男の子が好きな女の子にアピールするチャンスってわけ。
Make it nice and easy, I guess. Tosaka's right, but I think a date and a rendezvous are vastly different. But I shouldn't interrupt. Seems Sabers finally understands what a date is.
そういうことだ、セイバー。今日一日は戦わないで街に行く。そもそも昼間は人目につくから戦えないだろう。ならどう過ごしてもいいはずだ。
それはそうですが、しかしあまりに意味がありません。そのような
But
ことをし
I
ても
want to. It's not even a thing of like he doesn't even like have a he has a reason and it's because he wants to. He's wanting to be selfish. God.
今日はセイバーのために使うって決めたんだから、俺のことは気にするな。とにかく今日は絶対に街に行く。こればっかりは何を言われても変えないからな。
I stare straight on at Saber. After thinking with a serious face for a while,
では、私が反対した場合でも、シローは一人で街に出ると。
nope.
ああ、絶対に行く。
Okay, he's really
一
determined.
晩考え抜いたのがバカみたいだ。
それでは、私が付き添わないわけにはいきません。サーバントとして、マスターを一人にすることはできないの
I
です
guess we got the result that we wanted, but is it really? Is it really? A deep sigh, Saber answers in her usual manner. This is somewhat okay, I guess. I get really angry about her following me because she's my servant, but I managed to succeed in getting Saber out. So I just have to take Saber to places without thinking too much about it. Off on the date we
いって
go.
らっしゃい。お土産よろしくね。
I gestured to Tosaka to go to hell as she makes fun of me right to the end. And we go outside.
それで、具体的にはこれからどうするのですか？
We're gonna go have
どうするっ
fun!
てとりあえず隣町に出る。交差点からバスが出てるからそ
Do
れ
we
に
have
乗って
the
いこ
money to pay for all this, by the way? It's an important aspect that we have to think about. Road is awfully quiet. Past 9 on a weekday. Town is starting to come alive, but it must be a bit too early for people to start going anywhere. There's no one out on the road, and it's like we have the place to
う。
ourselves.
そういえば学校を休むのに抵抗がなくなってるな。ここのところずっと家にこもってたし。
Yeah, it's been like a week and a half now. Or no, just about a week.
おいそれと出歩く方がおかしいのです。
We're on, what, day 14 at this point? So, yeah, it's been, no, it's been 11 days. 11 days, so that's a week and a half. She's walking behind me as usual, but it feels different today. Put it nicely, I feel pressure behind me. Anyway, Saber's going to be harder to handle today. Yeah. Get on the bus. I like how... This might seem like a nitpick or something. I like how they didn't have like an actual... Like they didn't have anything to do with like making an actual bus stop environment. So they took the street intersection environment that they already had and made a sprite for the bus stop. That's really funny to me. We get on the bus. It would have been full of people an hour ago, but there aren't that many people using it at this time. The only people on the bus are an old lady and a kid, so it's like we have the place to ourselves.
セイバー、一番後ろに座ろう。
Call it Saber, about to sit right at the front and sit at the back of the bus. And thumbnail. That's a thumbnail. Saber watches the passing scenery silently. Looking at her, I realize how crazy I'm being right now. The bus of the neighboring town is ordinary for me, but in this ordinary thing, there is something extraordinary. Well, in short, to be honest, my mind starts to twist like a Rubik's Cube, realizing we're about to go on a date. Oh, crap, I'm getting really nervous. Take a deep breath and try not to let Saber notice. And I know I shouldn't, but I sneak one more glance at Saber. My heart jumps. The Saber sitting next to me is a Saber I don't know. No, Saber herself is the same. All that's changed is the place. Still, just that makes me realize she is different. Something I didn't notice back at my place. This ordinary scene seems like a different world just because it has Saber in it. Her hair is like golden silk and her green eyes are so beautiful that their mere presence is overwhelming. There wasn't much to compare her against up until now, so I forgot about it. I remember the time I first met Saber. Probably avoiding her because I was embarrassed about being fascinated by her. No matter what Saber says, she's a girl before she's a swordsman for me. I don't know how to approach her, and I didn't realize my feelings for her. It's stupid even for me. I was finally able to believe in Saber with everything I have, and then I decided to go on a date with her. Just those two are in the wrong order. And I finally realized when our day is about to begin, just how big of a deal it's going to be to go on a date with a girl that you like. But that's fine. I can only do my best, so I can't back out now. I calm myself and shake off my weak spirits. The bus has crossed the bridge and it's going to be developing area where the buildings are. I breathe out and prepare myself. The announcer I'm so used to hearing announces the next stop in the Shinto station. Still 9 in the morning, but the area in front of the station is crowded. Most shops open at 10, but cafes and bookstores are already open. There are already many more people than there were at the Miyama City, and this place is crowded as it is on the weekends. You look so incredulous. Why are you so... Believe in us, Saber, come on. Oh. Getting off the bus, Saber looks around unhappily. It's only natural. Saber was against the state, and people passing by are looking at her curiously. She must not feel too good about that. Yeah, this is only, slightly gonna happen. It's gonna follow us around for the whole day. If there's a way to calm it down, it's to make Saber have so much fun that she forgets about the people staring at her. Let's do the sort of thing. Pound a fist and turn to Saber. Is there anywhere you want to go, Saber? Yeah, home. Let's get the fuck out of here, Shiro.
さあ、別にこれといって興味のある場所はありませんから。そもそも私にそのような選択をす
You were
る
here
知識は
10 years
ありま
ago.
せ
I'm
ん。
sure that wasn't a pleasant time, but hey, you should have a decent idea of the city at this point.
本当か？そりゃ参ったな。じゃあ本当にここからは出たとこ勝負なわけか。
まさかとは思うのですが、何の計画も立てていないのですか？
We're winging this.
いや、少しはあるけど、中身はガラガラ。とりあえず手当たり次第に
We
店を発
are
症しよう。
winging this, alright. Well, that's still difficult. I know places where I won't get bored, but I can't imagine where a girl would be happy to go to. Jeez. It's gonna end up like this. I wish I'd gone out with a girl just once.
まったく反論するわけではありませんが、シロはどうかしています。休憩を取ろうという考えはまだいい。
Like I said, we gotta wing it. Oh, Saber enters the scolding mode. This is the first time she started to complain about something outside of the dojo. I know she was irritated of not being up for this and being looked at by curious eyes, but I didn't think she was this irritated.
かねてからあなたの見積もりの甘さには一言したかったのです。あなたは周りのことは目に入ってるくせに、
Hello, pot, meat, kettle.
結果、齟齬を埋めるためにあなた自身が対価を払わなくてはならなくなる。と聞いているのですか、シロ？
聞いてるよ。要するに今こうしているのが納得いかないんだろ。まあ俺に連れ回されてもつまらないのは目に見えてるし、嫌がるのは当然だろう
Damn, you're putting yourself down hella hard.
いえ、そういうことではなく、私は今はこのようなことをしている場合ではないと。
それも分かってる。けど聞かない。俺は今日一日セイバーに付き合ってもらうって決めたんだ。こればっかりはなんて言われようと曲げない。
I look at Saber. Saber just looks back at me in
た
shock.
だ言いたいことがあるなら聞く。
If you have suggestions instead of being a Debbie Downer,
文句もあるだろうし
then I will be all
そういうのは
ears.
今のうちに言っておいてくれ。その方がお互い気兼ねしなくて済む。 セイバーが俺とデートするのが嫌だって言うんなら別の方法だって考える。
いえ、何もそこまでする必要はないと言いますか。
Saber reverts her gaze and runs out of
文
words.
句はないんだな。じゃあ行くぞ。
Then off we
セイバー
go
にリクエストがないん
to
だか
have
ら
fun on our
どこ行っ
date.
たって怒るなよ。
It's important. Considering an ordinary place like an aquarium, I decided to grab Saber's hand.
シロ、文句はありませんが、何も手をつかむ必要はないのではありませんか。
いや、時間ももったいないし、少し走るからな。
いえ、こんな状態では
Come on, less with the embarrassed and more with the let's go on the date. I start to run without waiting for Saber's reply. Since I've talked big to Saber, I can't act miserable now. I just have to take her to every possible place I can think of. I run holding Saber's hand. He must have accepted it as Saber finally stops complaining and follows me quietly. Well, it's before 10 o'clock. Make the 2 hours before the lunchtime worthwhile and surprise her. Yeah. Gotta rely on everything. To summarize, the 2 hours went by like a storm. We went to a boutique that I don't usually go to, and we played bowling while I taught her the rules. Couldn't find an aquarium, but we fed some birds in a park. We also went to an antique store, and I still think it was the best not to go to the movie theater. Anyway, I kept... Why not go to a movie theater? That seems like fun. Anyway, I kept taking her to places a girl might like for the past 2 hours, and there were many results. Honorable defeats and total defeats. But I don't think this is what people would call a date. This is more like a contest, a fight to the death where the first one to give up loses. Saber is the same as usual no matter where I take her. And she sometimes goes so quiet I seriously start wondering if she's really mad. She gives no reaction, so I became desperate to make her happy at the next place that I take her to. As a result, I became obstinate about making Saber smile and ran around with different places all morning. But it's already noon without much success. So, as Saber reminded me it's time for lunch, I decided to take a short break, but... Oh shit. This is fancy. Fancy living, here we come. Complain once we're seated at a table.
昼食なら川沿いの喫茶店がおすすめよ。
Oh wait, we took advice from the rich girl. Why would we do that? That was the only advice Tosaka gave me last night. I trusted her to choose this place, but I never thought it would be so fastidious. I look at the menu. Fortunately, the menu has a version in Japanese as well, so I have no problems reading it. But the trouble is, I can't understand what kind of food is from the name, and the prices are outrageous. This is bad. We're gonna spend all our money here and then go home in defeat. I groan, looking at the menu.
シロ、ここには昼食をとるために立ち寄ったのではないのですか？
I hear a rather frail voice from the... Are we not gonna eat? That's all I wanted! I raise my head. And then... There's Saber with an expression just like a cornered rabbit.
落ち着かないのなら、今だけでも屋敷に戻りましょう。
それは家に帰りたいってことか？
いえ、屋敷に帰りたいわけではなくですね。今日はひどく緊張したので、
Damn, we suck
普
at
段より
dates.
疲れてしまったのです。
I'm disappointed. Come on, Shiro.
そうか。
I mean, also
こ
Saber's
こで
just
飯
kind
に
of
して
a
一
hard
息つい
girl
た
to take on
ら
a
ま
date.
た
but
街を出
yeah.
歩こうと思ったんだけど、セイバーが疲れたんならしばらくここで休憩しようか。
まさかそのようなことはありません。疲れたというのは語弊がありました。正しくはですね。
Saber stops. Small gurgling sound was fortunate. That didn't sound... That was supposed to be a gurgle, but like it sounded like a... It definitely sounded like a video game sound effect before it sounded like a gurgle. It was fortunately small enough that only I could hear. No, if she was hungry, she could have just told me.
申し訳ありません。つまり昼食は早めにしてもらえると助かるということです。
了解。そうだな。面白みがないけど無難なところを頼んでみて。
Let's see. What are the cheapest things on these menus? What about the appetizer? Nah, the appetizers cost more than the entrees most of the time, or at least as much, slightly less. It's still expensive. Consider what to do in the afternoon while drinking the after-meal coffee. What I learned this morning is that anything physical is not good. Saber gets serious when it comes to contests. That's good for me, but it makes Saber stand out even more. After we finished the game, Saber got angry because she caught all the attention she wanted to avoid. Why not go to the movies?
2度目になるけど、どこか行きたいところってあるか？
私にですか？いえ、特にはありません。
That isn't good. We're trying to
私では
fix you
わか
with
りま
that.
せんから、このままシロにお任せします。
We literally have like the two most big people pleasers, undecisive people ever. And they're trying to go out on a date. Where do you want to go? I don't know. What do you want to have for dinner? I don't know. Anything's fine with me. What about you? Whatever you want. Oh, well, whatever you want. And it goes on for eternity. This is unfortunate. Saying so, Saber lifts up her teacup. Saber ordered English tea, and it seems like she really likes the taste. We don't have much English tea at my place, and even if we did, it'd be all instant tea bags. It seems Saber was a bit dissatisfied with the drinks at my house, and she seems to like English tea. Should put that into consideration starting tonight. Saber is sitting there and drinking tea. She doesn't seem happy or bored. If I had to use one word to describe her, it'd be that she looks natural. She drinks her tea sitting up straight in the shadows of the streaming sunlight. Even though this is the first time I've ever seen such a thing, it doesn't seem strange. It feels like I've seen such a scene before. Why do I feel like that? The Saber I know is a tense girl who's always holding a sword and fighting.
Ah, そうか。
He's been enlightened, but it's only natural. I also know her attitude after she lets go of her sword, and once she stops fighting, Saber has always been calm and gentle. This scene looks natural rather than new because this is her true nature. No matter how superior she is a swordsman, it is natural for Saber to be like this. Rather, it's abnormal for her to hold a sword at all. I once thought in my dream that she wasn't suited for fighting. I don't think I'm wrong. No matter how superior her technique or no matter how many battles she's experienced, as long as she is who she is, it can't be a comfortable place to be. So this is natural. Saber is resting, not holding a sword. This calm scene is the way she should be. We do the same thing in the afternoon. I go to every place I can think of, and Saber follows me silently. But it's not as painful as it was in the morning. I don't know if it's because I'm getting used to it or whether Saber is complying. Saber still isn't talkative, but if I look closely, her expression isn't like when she's mad. There's a feeling of accomplishment and happiness when I see Saber leave a shop with light steps. So, considering many factors that might make Saber happy from many angles. I'm a bit dubious, but I've determined that this shop will be the best suited for Saber. Saber stands there dumbfounded. I don't know if her shoulders are shaking because she's angry or because she's deeply moved. It's a toy shop! Since men aren't allowed in, what the fuck? Kind of prejudice? Of course there's not actually a rule like that. Since there are only women and no men, it's like an unwritten rule. God damn you early 2000s. Let me love the stuffed animals too. To prove it, there are only girls in here. The golden hair Saber is being stared at, but being a guy, I'm being glared at. I'm sure they want to tell me not to come into their sanctuary. I feel the same way. I would not approve of any men entering this place.
せっかく来たんだから周りは気にせず見て回ろう。そういえば好きな動物っているか？
その主に獅子やヒョウなどは愛らしいと思っているの
Nah,
で
that's
すが。
great. She asked me with upturned eyes. Lions are pretty cool. I look away instantly and contain my laughter. Funny thing is, Saber is strange for thinking she's strange and for thinking lions are cute.
シロ、今の行為は不自然です。何か言われのない怒り
Yeah,
を覚
it's
えるのです
fine,
が。
it's fine.
いや、悪い悪い。ライオンってのがあんまりにもセイバーらしかったんで、つい笑っちまった。
人の趣味を笑うのは良くないこと
Nothing
です
wrong
よ
with your preference.
それにライオンも悪くありません
Lions are the king of the jungle.
だからすまなかったって。お詫びにいいとこに連れてくから。それで機嫌を
We
直して
already
くれ。
took her somewhere good. We're gonna take her to. I don't think we're gonna get much better than this place unless we go to like a buffet or something. Going to the store while trying to hold my laughter. Well, it looks like stuffed animals are that way. I thought it was a stuffed animal shop, so shouldn't there be stuffed animals everywhere? So, it's taken about an hour to go around the store. I looked at Saber staring at the stuffed animals and felt really nervous with all the girls there. Anyway, it was the most tiring hour so far. The worst part is, we've only looked through half the store. It took us this long just to look at half of it because Saber was frequently paralyzed. I mean, Saber kept staring down stuffed animals. Looks like Saber is interested in the other half too, so I'll have to accompany her.
シロどうしたのですため息をついて
Yeah, this is
歩き通して
is
疲れてしまったと
completely
か
tiring.
ああ、ちょっと疲れた。こんな程度で音を上げるほどやわじゃないんだけどな。ここは特別だ。
I let out a big sigh. I don't mind being looked at by other people while walking with Saber, but girls-only places like this is really uncomfortable. Boredom sometimes tires one's body.
そういうセイバーは大丈夫か？こういう店初めてだろ？
Full of new
確
experiences.
かに私も落ち着きませんがシロの方が居心地が悪そうですここだけではなく先ほどの店も
What stores were they that we were walking through? Were they all their girl-only stores?
まさかとは思うのですがシロは自分で行きたくない場所を選んでいるので
Oh
はないですか
no, we're trying to appeal to you, the horror. For me, Saber's words are enough to cast away my
そ
worries.
うだな。正直に言えば、あえて苦手なところを選んでるけど。
やはりどうかしていますシロ慣れないと分かっていてなぜこのような場所ばかり選ぶのです
いや、だって女の子にはこういう場所のが似合うだろう。
Gosh.
遊び
Haven't
に
you
行こ
ever
うって連
been
れ出し
in
た
a
のは
girl
俺な
store
んだから
before, Saber? Gosh.
今日はセイバーの日なわけだし。それに、そう居心地悪くないぞ。セイバーがいるから大丈夫。隣にこれだけ美人がいるんだから、妬まれることはあれ、場違いだって思われることもないし。
何をバカな
It was super
武装してい
effective.
なくても
Critical hit.
私はサーバントですいかに非戦闘時だからといって私を女性扱いする必要はありません普段通りサーバントとして扱ってください
バカはそっちだ。普段通りも何も、セイバーは初めっから女の子じゃないか。
Nah, I mean, kind
今
of,
日
but
だけ
that's
気を
more
使ってる
because
わけじゃないし。
other reasons.
今日の俺っていつもと違うか。
Ah, shit. In astonishment, Saber opens her mouth as if she just realized that.
いえ同じですあなたはいつも通りのシローでした
だろ？だから俺に気を使う必要なんてないぞ。ほら、それじゃ行こう。一番気に入ったものを買うんだから、あと半分も見ないとダメだろ。
And I take Saber's hand. Saber silently follows me.
そうでした初めからそうだったのに今になって
That doesn't seem like a good thing. You know, I'm back for a moment to ask, what's up? She murmurs to herself. She doesn't look satisfied anymore.